Is this the moment everything changes? The trailer for The Chosen Season 6 Episode 1 drops heavy hints that the end for Jesus is closer than ever. Every frame feels darker, every look from the disciples feels heavier, and every word spoken feels like it is carrying the weight of destiny. Fans are left asking, is this the beginning of the most heartbreaking chapter in the story of The Chosen? Season 5 left us with one clear truth. Jesus' path is heading toward sacrifice, and nothing can stop it. The final episodes carried both triumph and sorrow, showing miracles that drew crowds, but also enemies who grew more determined to silence him. The disciples were caught in the middle, celebrating the works of their teacher, but feeling the storm gathering around them in the last scenes of Season 5. Tension was everywhere. The Pharisees and leaders of the temple had already made up their minds that Jesus was a threat to their power. They could no longer ignore the crowds he drew, or the hope he gave to the broken. We saw whispers of betrayal and schemes in the shadows, and that made viewers wonder who would make the first move against him. At the same time, Jesus continued to show love and mercy. He healed the sick, comforted the poor, and taught lessons that turned hearts upside down. But while his words lifted the weak, they also shook the foundations of the leaders who ruled with fear. The disciples tried to understand the weight of his mission, but many still struggled. Some wanted him to rise as a king against Rome, while others feared what was coming. And then, the final tone of the season made it clear. The story is shifting from miracles to sacrifice. We left with images of Ia's faces filled with doubt, enemies planning their next move, and disciples wrestling. With faith, the air was heavy with something unspoken, a promise of trials yet to come. Season 6 now picks up right where this storm left off. And the trailer wastes no time reminding us that the end of Jesus' journey on earth is near. The trailer for The Chosen Season 6 Episode 1 does not waste a single second. From the very first frame, the tone feels heavier than ever. The world around Jesus looks darker, as if the light itself knows what is coming. We see him walking with his disciples, but this time, the air between them is not filled with joy. It feels like goodbye. His eyes carry both peace and sorrow, as if he knows his time is running out. One quick cut shows Judas, his face half hidden in shadows. The camera lingers on him just long enough to raise suspicion. His eyes are restless, and in that silence, the trailer says more than words could. Fans already know his betrayal is coming, and this shot confirms that the seed of betrayal has already begun to grow in his heart. We also see a council of religious leaders gathered in secret. Their voices cannot be heard in the trailer, but their faces show anger and fear. They are no longer debating Jesus, they are plotting against him. Their eyes burn with the decision to end him, and this chilling silence tells us that his arrest is closer than ever. Then, a powerful moment arrives. Roman soldiers marching through Jerusalem, their armor shining in the firelight. Their presence adds a sense of danger, reminding viewers that Rome is watching closely and will not hesitate to act if things spiral out of control. This scene connects with the tension we felt at the end of Season 5, but here it is louder, heavier, and unstoppable. The most emotional parts of the trailer come when the disciples are shown. Peter looks torn apart, as if he wants to fight the storm but doesn't know how. Mary's face is filled with both love and fear, holding on to hope but sensing loss. John seems quiet, but his silence feels like a weight too heavy to carry. These small glimpses show us that the story is no longer about miracles, it is about love, loyalty, and heartbreak. One final image in the trailer hints at what is to come: a table lit by candlelight. Jesus is surrounded by his disciples. The scene fades before we can see more. Fans instantly recognize that the shadow of the Last Supper has already fallen. Every trailer for The Chosen carries hidden meaning. But Season 6's first episode trailer feels different. It is packed with themes and symbols that prepare us for the most painful yet powerful part of Jesus' story. The entire trailer feels like a bridge between light and darkness, hope and despair, life and death. One of the strongest themes is sacrifice. In almost every shot of Jesus, his calm face stands against a world full of fear and anger. The way he speaks softly, the way he looks at his disciples, It feels as if he is already carrying the weight of the cross before he even touches it. His peace is not just peace, it is acceptance. This is the message of sacrifice, shown not through words, but through silence and stillness. Another theme is betrayal. The trailer never shows Judas acting, but the way the camera frames him tells the truth. He is always in shadows, half-lit, like a man living in two worlds. Light touches his face, but darkness is never far. It is a visual symbol of the choice he will soon make. Fans already know his role in history, but the show uses this imagery to make us feel his inner war. The trailer also plays with contrast between light and dark. Scenes of Jesus comforting his followers are shown next to scenes of enemies plotting against him. This back-and-forth editing reminds us of prophecy, that while evil plans rise, God's purpose is stronger. Even the colors in the trailer seem chosen carefully. Warm candlelight appears in moments of love, while cold shadows cover the scenes of betrayal. Lastly, there is prophecy fulfilled. The quiet table lit by candles does more than hint at the Last Supper. It shows us that every step Jesus takes is already written. His mission is moving toward its climax, and nothing can stop it. The symbols remind viewers that this story is not only about pain, but also about the promise of victory that comes after suffering. The trailer uses these themes, not only to show what is coming, but also to prepare our hearts. It is warning us that we will see Jesus' end. But it is also reminding us that endings are never the end in his story. The trailer has left fans buzzing with questions. Everyone feels that Season 6, Episode 1 will not be an ordinary start, will be the beginning of the end. But how much of that ending will we see in this very first episode? That's where the excitement and fear collide. One of the biggest fan predictions is Judas's first step into betrayal. The trailer does not show him handing over Jesus, but the restless looks on his face make many viewers believe Episode 1 will begin planting the final seeds. Fans expect conversations, secret meetings, or small choices that will build into his ultimate betrayal later in the season. If this happens, it means we could see Judas's character slowly fall apart from the very first episode. Another expectation is the Last Supper. The glimpse of the candlelit table in the trailer has already started debates online. Some believe Episode 1 will end with that powerful scene, making it one of the strongest openings in the show's history. Others think it's only a tease, and that the full supper will come later, but Episode 1 will set the stage for it. Either way, the symbol is too strong to ignore. Fans are also preparing for emotional breakdowns among the disciples. Peter looks ready to explode. Mary seems broken by sorrow, and John carries a silence that feels like grief. Predictions suggest that Episode 1 may focus less on action and more on the disciples' hearts, showing how fragile and human they are when they sense their teacher's time is running out. And of course, there is the question of a cliffhanger. The Chosen is known for ending episodes with powerful hooks. Many believe Episode 1 will end with Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, just as he begins to pray, leaving viewers with chills and tears. Others think it might close on Judas walking away into the darkness, a hint of betrayal waiting in the next episode. What makes these predictions so powerful is that fans already know the story of history, but the series still finds ways to surprise us, to make familiar moments feel brand new. Season 6 is walking us toward Jesus' end. But the real mystery is not what happens, it's how we will feel when it happens. And Episode 1 is the first step into that heartbreak. The most striking thing about The Chosen Season 6 Episode 1 trailer is that it doesn't just show scenes, it sets the stage for an entire season of heartbreak, hope, and ultimate destiny. Fans can already feel that Episode 1 will not simply be an introduction. It will act like the first domino, setting everything else into motion. The trailer makes it clear that the tone has shifted forever. Earlier seasons balanced miracles with struggles, victories with opposition, but here, the balance is gone. Darkness is pressing closer, and Jesus himself seems to embrace it. No, this isn't the season of crowds running after miracles. This is the season of enemies circling and friends being tested. Episode 1, from what we see, is the bridge between the world of wonder and the world of sacrifice. What's powerful is how the showrunners seem to be using Episode 1 to prepare fans emotionally. We're not being thrown straight into the crucifixion story. Instead, the trailer shows glimpses of pain building slowly, scene by scene. This suggests Episode 1 might be about showing the fragile bonds between Jesus and his disciples, reminding viewers of the love that makes the coming loss so devastating. By focusing on relationships, the show is making sure that when the betrayal comes, it will hit with maximum weight. Another thing the trailer hints at is the growing role of prophecy. Every candlelight, every silent glance, every shadow feels like a reminder that what's happening has already been written. For fans, this sets up Episode 1 as a prophecy-anchored beginning, where we watch history unfolding in slow motion. It feels less like a story being told, and more like destiny being revealed. And then there's the expectation of shock. The Chosen has never shied away from ending episodes with moments that leave fans stunned, with Episode 1 being the gateway. To Jesus' end, many predict that the closing minutes will hit harder than anything we've seen before. Whether it's Judas's first secret meeting, the Last Supper beginning, or Jesus walking into Gethsemane, fans are certain the episode will end on a note that demands silence, reflection, and tears. Episode 1 is not just another start. It is the first heartbeat of the final act. And from the trailer, it's clear nothing will ever be the same again. So here we are, standing at the edge of history with The Chosen Season 6, Episode 1. The trailer doesn't just show us scenes it whispers of an ending that fans have both feared and longed to see. Every look, every shadow, every quiet word is telling us the same truth. The time of miracles is turning into the time of sacrifice. Jesus' end is coming, and Episode 1 feels like the first step into that storm. But the real question is how? Will it begin? Will Judas take his first secret step into betrayal? Will the Last Supper unfold before our eyes in this very first episode? Or will the Garden of Gethsemane become the haunting cliffhanger that leaves us breathless until the next chapter? The trailer does not give away the answers, and that silence is what makes it so powerful. Keeps us guessing, keeps us hoping, and keeps us dreading the heartbreak we know is waiting. And this is why fans around the world cannot stop talking about it. Because The Chosen has done what few shows can knit. It takes a story we all know, yet it makes every moment feel brand new. It takes history and turns it into living, breathing drama. That's why Episode 1 isn't just an episode. It's the doorway into the most emotional season yet. So now the question comes to you. What do you think Episode 1 will reveal? Believe we'll see the Last Supper so soon? Or will it be saved for later? Do you think Judas will betray in shadows right away? Or will his fall be stretched across the season? And how do you think the disciples will react when they finally realize that the end for Jesus is truly near? Share your thoughts in the comments. Below, I want to hear your theories, your hopes, and your fears. And if you want deeper breakdowns, updates, and full episode explanations as Season 6 unfolds, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, because this is not just another season. It is the season that changes everything. The beginning of the end has come. The Chosen has always been more than a series, is an experience, season after season. It has carried us through miracles, heartbreak, laughter, and tears. But now, with Season 6, Episode 1, we are no longer just watching stories of faith. We are walking into the most difficult and sacred part of the journey. The trailer makes this crystal clear. The shadow of the cross has already fallen. And Jesus' steps are leading directly toward it. Every image we saw, from Judas's restless stare to the disciples' breaking hearts, from the plotting of the leaders to the candlelight of that familiar table, is pointing in one direction. This is not simply drama for drama's sake. This is destiny unfolding, a destiny that will challenge the disciples' faith and our own hearts as viewers. The pain ahead is unavoidable, but it is also purposeful. That is what makes this moment so powerful. Episode 1 feels like the opening note of a song we already know, but one we will hear as if for the first time. We know betrayal will come. We know the Last Supper will arrive. We know the garden will echo with prayer and tears. And we know the cross is waiting at the end of this path. Yet still, when the trailer plays, it feels new, it feels raw. It feels alive. That is the gift of The Chosen. It does not just retell the story, it makes us feel the story. So as Season 6 begins, fans should prepare not just for an episode, but for an emotional journey unlike any before. The questions remain. How will Episode 1 set the tone? Will it break our hearts from the first scene? Or will it slowly pull us into the storm, saving the heaviest blow for the final minutes? Whatever happens, one thing is certain: the end for Jesus is near, and we are about to witness it with fresh eyes. The trailer leaves us with a single thought: endings are not truly endings. They are beginnings hidden in pain. While Season 6 will bring us tears, it will also bring us hope, the kind of hope that never dies.